A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a historic election on Sunday, Chilean voters made a significant shift to the right, electing Jose Antonio Kast as the country's new president. With an overwhelming 58.3% of the vote, Kast triumphed over his opponent, Jeannette Jara of the Communist Party, who garnered 41.7%. This election marks the most substantial rightward turn in Chile's political landscape since the end of the military dictatorship in 1990. The results, which reflect more than 10 million votes counted, signal a growing trend of right-wing leadership across Latin America, joining the ranks of leaders like Ecuador's Daniel Noboa and Argentina's Javier Milei. Kast's victory comes as a response to increasing public concerns regarding crime and immigration, issues that have dominated the political discourse in recent years. As crime rates have surged, particularly due to organized crime and the influx of migrants, Kast's hardline stance on these matters resonated with voters who yearn for a return to a sense of safety and order. In his campaign, Kast advocated for stringent measures including the construction of border walls, deploying the military to combat crime, and the deportation of undocumented migrants. Following the announcement of the election results, Jara publicly conceded, stating, "Democracy has spoken loud and clear. I have communicated with Jose Antonio Kast and wished him success for the good of Chile." Her concession reflects the political reality that Kast's policies, while controversial, have found considerable support among the electorate, particularly among those feeling the impacts of crime and social instability. Supporters of Kast gathered at his campaign headquarters in Santiago, celebrating the win with Chilean flags and wearing red caps emblazoned with the slogan, "Make Chile Great Again." Among them was Ignacio Segovia, a 23-year-old engineering student, who expressed his disillusionment with the current state of safety in the country. "I grew up in a peaceful Chile where you could go out in the street without worry. Now you can't go out peacefully," he lamented, echoing the sentiments of many voters who feel increasingly threatened by rising violence. Despite Chile's status as one of the safest countries in Latin America, the rise in violent crime has been alarming. Organized crime groups have exploited the country's vulnerabilities, particularly along its northern borders with coca-producing nations like Peru and Bolivia. This has led to a surge in migrants, many of whom are fleeing dire conditions in their home countries, particularly Venezuela. Kast's proposals to create a police force modeled after the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) aim to expedite the detention and expulsion of undocumented migrants, a move that has raised concerns among human rights advocates. While Kast's election reflects a significant shift in voter sentiment, his more radical proposals may face challenges within a divided Congress. Although right-wing parties gained ground in the recent general election, the Senate remains evenly split between left and right, and the lower house's swing vote belongs to the Populist People's Party. This political landscape may hinder Kast's ability to implement sweeping changes without bipartisan support. Economically, Kast's ascent has already had a positive impact on Chile's markets, buoying the local stock market and strengthening the peso. Investors are optimistic about the potential for less regulation and more market-friendly policies under his leadership, particularly in the context of Chile's status as a leading producer of copper and lithium. Kast's political journey has been marked by previous attempts at the presidency, including a significant loss to leftist President Gabriel Boric in 2021. However, Boric's presidency, which began with great promise, saw a decline in popularity due to rising crime rates and economic challenges. With Boric ineligible for a second term, Kast capitalized on the opportunity to present himself as the candidate of change. Public opinion has shifted dramatically as voters express frustration over the challenges facing the nation. Kast's campaign promises to address crime and immigration have struck a chord with an electorate eager for decisive action. His victory is emblematic of a broader shift in Latin America, where right-wing leaders have increasingly risen to prominence in response to similar concerns across the region. As Chile embarks on this new chapter under Kast's leadership, the nation stands at a crossroads, grappling with the implications of a rightward shift in governance. The coming months will be crucial in determining how Kast navigates the political landscape and addresses the pressing issues that have propelled him to power. With a divided Congress and a populace eager for change, The challenges ahead will test his leadership and the resilience of Chile's democratic institutions. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.